During 1970, the Zodiac Killer continued to communicate with authorities through the press, notably through Paul Avery of the San Francisco Chronicle. The Zodiac taunted the police, even sending a note on the 20th of April claiming to state his name. Once again, it was hidden in a cipher. The letter continued, claiming how he was not responsible for the recent bombing of a police station, but how there was more glory killing the police than ordinary people as they were able to shoot back. Included in the note was the diagram of a bomb Zodiac claimed he would use. At the bottom of the letter was the purported tally: Zodiac 10, San Francisco Police Department 0. The next note appeared on the 28th of April, sent to the Chronicle, indicating he was intending to use the bus bomb unless the newspaper published in full the details he wrote. June 26th saw another letter from Zodiac, claiming to have shot a man with a .38 caliber pistol, possibly referring to the unsolved murder of Sergeant Richard Raditich a week prior. Included in this note was a 32-letter cipher which the killer claimed would lead whoever decoded it to a buried bomb which was set to go off in the autumn. This code was never cracked. The note ended with the sign-off, Zodiac 12, SFPD 0. The 24th of July saw another letter posted to the Chronicle. In this letter, the killer took credit for the abduction of Kathleen Johns. This abduction had occurred 4 months prior on the 22nd of March. Kathleen, with her 10-month-old daughter, was driving down the highway, only to have a car pull up behind her and repeatedly flash their lights trying to attract her attention. She pulled off onto the side of the road and stopped, where the man in the tailing car also stopped. He told her that her rear right wheel was wobbling. The man seemed to tighten the wheel nuts and Johns proceeded on her way. The wheel almost immediately came off the car and she stopped again. The man returned and this time offered to take her to the nearest service station for help. With her daughter in tow, she climbed into the man's car. After passing several service stations, she became suspicious. The man drove around for 90 minutes and, whenever Johns questioned him on why he hadn't taken them to a service station, he would change the subject. When the man pulled up to an intersection, she jumped out of the car with her daughter and fled into a nearby field to hide. The man attempted to find the pair, but was unsuccessful, even calling out that he wasn't going to hurt them. Eventually, he gave up on the search and left the scene. This particular aspect is contradicted in one of the reports Johns gave to the police, which stated he did not leave the car. Johns managed to hitchhike to a police station, where she gave a statement to the sergeant on duty. There she noticed a composite sketch of Paul Stine's killer and said it was the same man. While there have been no further confirmed murders committed by the Zodiac Killer, there were several speculative and suspected attacks which may be part of the Zodiac spree. These include some historical murders, one on the 4th of June 1963 where Robert Domingos, aged 18, and Linda Edwards, aged 17, were murdered on a beach near Gavitoa. This case has specific similarities with the Lake Berryessa murders 6 years later. The other suspected historical Zodiac murder occurred on the 30th of October 1966. Sherry Jo Bates, aged 18, was murdered at the Riverside City College in Riverside. The link to Zodiac came about as a result of the perpetrator sending correspondence to the press regarding details of the crime which had not been made available by the police, in a similar manner to that which the Zodiac would confirm his identity in a later case. There were other suspected murders occurring after the last confirmed case. Donna Lass disappeared on the 6th of September 1970 from near Lake Tahoe. She was a nurse working at the Sahara Tahoe Hotel and Casino. She left work at 2 a.m, and later that day her employer and landlord received telephone calls from an unknown man stating she had left town due to a family emergency. In March of 1971, a letter appeared at the Chronicle addressed to Paul Avery, which appeared to be from the Zodiac Killer and seemed to take credit for the disappearance of Lass. The Zodiac's mark, a circle and cross, was on the postcard. After this, the killer remained silent for around 3 years, until the 29th of January 1974, where another letter was sent to the Chronicle. It praised the recently released film The Exorcist, claiming it was the best satirical comedy that I have ever seen. At the end of the letter was the score, Zodiac 37, SFPD nil. This was the last confirmed letter from the Zodiac Killer. There have been some possible suspects over the years, though mostly through circumstantial evidence and hearsay. Numerous people have been named by their relatives, with claims of deathbed confessions, but none of those claims seem to hold water. Although no one has been charged, there are some suspects who are more likely candidates than others. And although DNA analysis subsequently discredited the suspicions of this subject, Arthur Lee Allen was a prime suspect for a number of years. Robert Tarbox was a lawyer working in California during the time the Zodiac Killer was known to be active, and said he had a mariner approach him and confess to the Zodiac's crimes. In 2009, he took out a full-page advertisement in the Vallejo Times-Herald to try and clear the name of Arthur Lee Allen. A 2009 episode of the History Channel's Mystery Quest postulated that newspaper editor Richard Gaikowski was the Zodiac Killer. His appearance at the time closely resembled the composite sketch made by the police, and the police dispatcher who spoke to the Zodiac Killer positively identified his voice. George Hodel, a prime suspect in the Black Dahlia murders, was also considered to be the Zodiac Killer due to the similarities in the letters sent by the Black Dahlia Killer and the Zodiac Killer. A former California Highway Patrol officer suspected a cover-up involving a man whom he gave the pseudonym George Russell Tucker. Tucker was never pursued and was not considered a suspect by the police. In 2001, a man named Louis Joseph Myers confessed to a friend that he was the Zodiac Killer. He did so because he knew he was dying, eventually passing away in 2002 from cirrhosis of the liver. The friend, Randy Kennedy, reportedly had trouble initially getting the police to take him seriously. However, while maintaining a degree of skepticism, they found Myers' story to be compelling enough to investigate. Although there are varying degrees of plausibility regarding these suspects, no definitive answer has been given on who the Zodiac Killer is. It is all still speculation.